Alright, we're back with Dubster series where we take a look at something's English dub, talk about it, let you know if it's good, and if the series is good. And Nomi's here! So,
yes, I am.
King's Game. Oh, anyone who's heard of this anime knows how infamous it is. It touts itself as a psychological horror, but I think it's more of a dark comedy. What do you think, Nomi?
I think it is everything we deserve.
Yeah, so if any of you haven't seen this anime, which I'm sure is a good amount of you with how obscure this anime is at this point, you're in for a treat. We're gonna go over everything. We're going balls deep on this anime, piece by piece, and yeah, have you ever seen Danganronpa? But if it were written by people that are probably high and or really stupid.
So they watched the Danganronpa anime and said, "Let's do it worse." Is what you're saying?
Yeah. So let's get into this, shall we? King's Game, or Osama Game, if you want to go full weeb on it, is a series of cell phone novels, with 5 of them even, written by Nobuaki Kanazawa. That name's going to be relevant again in a bit, trust me, under the pen name Penkanko. That was a weird name, I probably butchered that too. It had a live-action film in 2011, and I really want to see that film now. Because how?
But it didn't get a dub, unfortunately for you.
Yeah. The anime would come out in October of 2017. I remember, me and Dai watched it together. Me and Dai tried taking it seriously for the first couple of episodes, and then we realized that was a stupid fucking mistake. And then just treat it like a comedy, and it's much better. It was animated by Studio 7. Now, who the hell are they? They're a hentai studio. They did the animation based on Rants, which, y'all know that series. Well, then, you know. They also did Peter Krill and the Philosopher's Time second season, and I am surprised Sentai dubbed this, and I remembered, oh wait, it's Sentai. They're all okay with dubbing softcore hentai. Well, the King's Game anime would end up adapting the first 2 novels, King's Game and King's Game Extreme.
Is it really called that?
Yes, it is. Are you surprised when the rest of the novels are called Annihilation, Spiral, Origin, and then the final one, Abyss?
Yeah, no, that seems on brand.
Yeah. Well, Funimation would end up simul-dubbing the series. Wonder if they dub it today. I mean, if they weren't dead.
Probably not.
And yeah, so our series follows the character named Nobuaki. Yes, the creator really did self-insert himself into here for some fucking reason. As him and his class of 31 other students receive a text from someone only known as the King, who gives them increasingly dangerous orders. First, it starts off with something simple, like licking a foot. Yeah, don't ask, we'll get to all that.
That's not in the anime. You can't...
I know, and it's sad. To something like, grope this chick, fuck this chick, and I do mean that literally, like, have sex with them.
That happens like 3 times.
Yeah, it really does. To end up leading to shank someone. And if you fail the king, then you get punished. I'll go over all the rules in a minute, because trust me, they're really convoluted and stupid. So, yeah. It's basically a survival game where they're trying to figure out who is the king. Maybe they're a queen, you never know. We'll find out.
They mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, so... And you'll notice the similarities, especially at the end of each episode when it has remaining survivors left. Straight out of Danganronpa, and how instead of 16 students, it's 32 students. Ooh, you know, they're trying to double up Danganronpa. But that also means that 2/3 of this class are nothing more than a body count. Also, on the commercial break, eye catchers, the Death Note rolls. What'd you think of those, Obi?
That was my the absolute best. I loved it. And by rules on it, by rules, what he means by that is it's just like, here's the orders that were given this episode.
Mm-hmm. Well, now we got the plot out of the way. Nomi, how was the animation before we actually get to the plot and everything?
It existed.
Yeah.
See, here's my thing, because it's, as he said, 2017. There was Made in an Abyss, obviously better in all regards.
I don't know, man. This might be better than this in terms of comedy.
Oh no, Zach, you got a point there. But also, I seem to remember something else you watched that was 2017.
Black Clover?
Something we don't talk about that we watched together specifically.
Oh yeah, Berserk. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is way more enjoyable than that.
No.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
just
you said
talking
when we
in
were
terms
watching
of
it, if this came out in the mid-2000s, it probably would have been fine.
Yeah, 2005, the animation would have looked on point for that. But I'm saying in terms of animation, there's much better. But there was definitely worse.
Please don't make us watch the Junji Ito anime, guys.
Oh god, no. Why did you call that into being?
Well, anyway, as far as the OST goes, I actually liked it. I think it fits the horror theme really well.
Yeah, no, the OST was fine. I like the opening.
Oh, yeah, that's Feed the Fire by Cold Rain, which is a band I really do like a lot, and that's probably my favorite song by them, too. So, and if you look at the lyrics, the stupid part is, the song was the perfect pick for a Battle Royale death game anime like this. So they nailed the right pick for the OP at the very least. I will give them that.
I mean, that's one of the important things. You have to set the tone.
Yeah. Speaking of the OST, it was never officially released, so shoutouts to the dude who actually painstakingly on YouTube isolated the audio to remove the voices. Because that's usually what I do when I, researching shit on a show, is try putting on its OST in the background to get yourself in the mood and all that.
Okay, now whoever you are, you get a cookie. You deserve it.
Yeah. And as far as the Blu-ray releases goes, the UK got an exclusive limited edition. I'm just putting it out there because I think I'm the only person on the planet who owns this piece of shit on LE. I am proud of that. Don't judge me.
And please, if you're watching this and you own it, tell him. He needs...
Hey, it comes with a poster and an art book, alright? It is worth it.
Well, especially considering how much you paid for it.
I got it for free. Anyway. Yeah, so I guess it's time to get to the reason this is called Dubster Dive, and we're going to go through this whole plot. So, yeah, you see the time bar if you're watching this on YouTube or watching the VOD. Well, get ready. We're going for a marathon. Also, I should mention real quick, this show is paced like a shitty episode of Arrow. For those who haven't seen it, every 5 to 10 minutes in an episode of Arrow, the main character, Oliver Queen, would have a flashback to his past and would keep going back and forth like that.
Well, to be fair, it's only for the first half.
Yeah, so the anime starts on Nobuaki's second King's game. And when the texts start rolling in and people start dropping like flies by the end of Ep 1, he's like, I've played this game before. A new King's game has begun. It's like, what does that mean to us, the viewer, though?
No. All it means for anyone is he's weird, plus the First Order was him and some chick to kiss. He'll talk more about who...
Yep, so I arranged all the events chronologically, and first game and second game is what I basically have them written as. Because, yeah. fuck doing it this way. Also, I feel like giving any Va who was in this thing a shout out when we get to them. Now, I can only do that if they said their names, so, which, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, they definitely didn't say every single
They didn't.
name.
Again, remember, there are 2 Kings games. That's 64 people. Jesus, you think that's enough? Whoever paced it like this needs to be slapped.
No, because remember, there's the... And,
Yeah.
I give up.
Well, anyway, the ADR director was Tyler Walker, who's the guy that did Fairy Tale, and DAZ Ray, which also aired at the same time as this, coincidentally.
Well, at least you've done some good.
Yeah, out of ADR directors, he's probably one of my favorites. All of his dubs usually turn out solid, and this one's no exception. That is one thing also. A lot of the voice actors went all in on this stupid show.
Well, except for that one girl.
We'll get to her later. Assistant ADR director was Tabitha Ray, who would go on to direct Goblin Slayer, which we did that if you were interested. With script being by Jeremy Kratz, and the script has some dub terms like "don't be a troll" or "cut the BS" as examples, but nothing I would say that's really bad to the point of immersion breaking.
No.
Now, as far as our cast goes, I'm going to go over the mains for Game 1 real quick. First, we have Nobuaki, voiced by Kobe Lewin. If someone's going to say, no, he goes by Kimono Lewin, that is not what his credit is here, so I don't fucking have to care about that. He's known as Climb from Overlord, the Saria's gorilla form from Fruit of Evolution. Yeah, that show is something. Don't ask. But his most known role, Cartoon Bunny in Ep 19 of Spy Family.
Everyone loves Cartoon Bunny.
He was also Adrian in Black Clover. Now his whole thing is about going on about hope and working together to survive this crazy death game. And hope. And hope.
No, why do you keep going on about that? It's like you're trying to make us think. No. Very unique character.
Yeah, you could tell this is his first main role. Some of his line delivery is a bit awkward here and there, but I don't think it's terrible. Just, you could tell he's still trying to feel out his whole Vine thing. Also, some hilarious crying scene with him later, but we'll get to that in a bit when we actually get to that scene.
It's my favorite scene with him.
After him, we have Chimi, voiced by Alexis Tipton, who's Kurumi from Date Alive, and Mocha from Rosario Vampire. Why isn't that show got a remake or a season 3?
Because
Sorry.
Through you specifically.
And, yeah, her whole thing is, Nobu's girlfriend. That's it. Also, I'm going to call Nobuaki Nobu from now on. I mean, everyone else in this show does.
Especially someone else.
Yeah, she's fine, I guess. I don't have any complaints.
I mean,
After her...
Alexis.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard a bad role by her, at least recently. But after her, we have Nobu's best friend, Naoya, voiced by Howard Wang, whose end from Another World with my smartphone... Do you think that phone could also receive a text from the king?
I
mean, it's a god phone,
so... I think it... Yeah, also it's in Another World, obviously, so...
He's also Abel and Mashal. So...
Yeah, I remember... Mashal was good.
And the last one to go over that's a main out of the first game is Rhea, who me and Dai, when we first saw this show years ago, nicknamed her gender-swapped Nagito from Danganronpa.
Dude, everyone loves Rhea. You just
Yeah.
got the Kudere thing going on.
Her whole thing is she's a computer genius or some shit. She's voiced by Michaela Krantz, who's Schreiber from DAZ Ray and Momiji from Fruits Basket 2019.
Oh.
And again, she talks all quiet and monotone, so Did fine, I guess. But those are the mains for Game 1. We'll get to Game 2 when we cover Game 2. And as we go through Game 1, I'll list off some other people. But because of the amount of characters, I'm only going to credit one role per person. I mean, this intro's already been long enough as it is. So, first, with the rules of the king that he sends out people, there are 3 types of orders. Individual, which is for one person. Shared, which is with 2 or more people. Or group, which is the whole class. Nomi, do you want to group order? You want to group order with me?
Considering the group order in the second game, no.
And there is also, you can't block the king. You cannot quit the game prematurely. Also, you can't cancel your phone either. Also, I just realized no one tried even texting the king. No one tried replying to his texts.
No, that's totally covered in the novels. Definitely.
Also, don't do anything unnecessary. We will get to that in a little bit, because...
No, that's specifically an order. That's not a rule.
Okay. It sounded like it was. I got confused on that one.
Yeah,
But anyway.
No, that doesn't come in until, like...
Well...
But yeah, they definitely do the unnecessary thing before that order comes in.
Well, the last thing to mention is every order comes in at midnight, and you have 24 hours to complete the order, or it's punishment time, in the words of Monokuma.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
now we got that out of the way, we can finally break down this show and dive in. You ready, Nomi?
Sure.
Now, because of the shitty pacing, as I said earlier, the first game when Nobuaki's like, I've played it before, let me tell you guys about it. We already start the first game partway in when everyone's already received the text. So, yeah. The first order we see is Hideki, voiced by Riko Fuhato, Daryun from Heroic Legend of Arslan, must grope a chick named Satomi, voiced by Don Bennett, Kale from Dragon Ball Super, Nomi's waifu.
How dare you? Of course you would bring that up. I don't know why they keep doing this. Yeah.
As 2 chicks, one named Mommy, that name is never going to stop being stupid to say in English, voiced by Felicia Angel, Hina from the Danganronpa anime. Very few overlap with Danganronpa, actually. And Minako, voiced by Sarah Wiedenheft, who's Mitama from Kamikatsu. Tell him, no, you ain't grabbing those titties. And it's like, but if I get punished, oh please, the King's Game's just bullshit, no one believes it's real. And he's like, fine, I'll give up. As Nobuaki and his friend Naoya say, her bazongas seem to be safe. Yeah, that's definitely a double-A term now, isn't it?
Yeah. It still made us laugh, though.
It did.
That's the point.
As the next day, the teacher, voiced by David Wald, Gagio from Fairy Tail, also I think he is the only adult that appears in all of the first game. And it made me realize, where the fuck are the adults during this? Yeah, I don't mean to derail it this early on, but, like, where are all their parents? What made Danganronpa work is they were in an isolated, sealed-off school. This, though, like, there's no police or anything.
I mean, there's more adults in the second game.
There's one more. We'll get there, though. But yeah, he reveals, he's like, I've got tragic news. Apparently, Hideki and Satomi, they hanged themselves.
And one thing I brought up to the Dolphin later, where do people keep getting these nooses from?
I have no idea. Maybe there was a discount at the noose store.
No, everyone got a free noose for participating. That was the king's gift.
Uh-oh. Well, anyway, we got the next order. So it turns out the character Shota, voiced by Austin Tendall, who's Accelerator from the Ascertain franchise, who for some reason goes all in on this show and continues to prove why he's probably one of my favorite Texas voice actors of all time, is telling his girlfriend Misaki, voiced by Jade Saxton, Koniko from DxD, not to follow the order, to kiss Daisuke, voiced by Dallas Reed, Asta from Black Clover. Do you see why we're only crediting these people one at a time? Because, trust me, these characters, that's all I have is their voice actors at the end of the day. I had to keep cross-referencing what their names were when they showed up. He's like, if you do it, I'll dump you, you stupid whore, is more or less what he says to Misaki. It's like, because they saw like, oh, they just did a double suicide. This doesn't prove the game is real yet, right?
Yeah, that's definitely would have been my thought process. Absolutely.
Yeah. As Chimi then approaches Nobu and is like, hey, if you got an order to kiss me, would you do it? He's like, what? Why not? But we don't have time for that, because Daisuke and Misaki actually did kiss, as the next day Shota receives the order that he is king and can give one order to anyone in class. I just specify by anyone in class because I saw people bring up the point trying to say, well, why doesn't he just order the king to off himself or something? He physically can't. That's actually against the rules. Trust me, there's a lot to poke fun out of this show and point out its broken logic, but this one isn't one of them.
Don't do that with this show. You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, you'll have an aneurysm if you actually try doing that. But yeah, he's like, he gets mad at Daisuke. He's like, oh, I have an order. You know what my order is? Hang yourself to death, Daisuke. You fucking tool. Nobu gets pissed at him. It's like, oh, come on, man. It's just a joke. This King's Game shit isn't real. As Daisuke's freaking out, Nobu goes to calm him down. He has dreams, you know. Daisuke wants to be a musician instead of being the Wizard King.
They have a brilliant idea.
Yeah. Nobu's like, I want to be a musician too. By the way, this is a plot point that'll never be revisited, but apparently for this one episode, I've been practicing guitar a bit, so... yeah. So let's play music together, man. I'll stay with you all throughout midnight, so that way I'll even knock you out if you try to off yourself. Hey, so they play music together, and Daisuke's like, hey, if I die, I'll give you my bracelet. Which you might think would be a plot point, or plot point. It's relevant, right, Nomi?
Totally. Definitely. Absolutely.
Well, they think they've been playing music all night, because, what is it, of a fast clock? Because no one's smart enough to check their damn phone?
It's like 2-3 minutes ahead of time.
Yeah, this one's really stupid. As Daisuke, like, they're like, hey, it's 12:04, you're still good, man! And Daisuke's like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna go get something to drink. Also, for some reason, Dallas's mic is fucked up for this one line read. I don't know why. See, we're the real professionals noticing shit like this. Anyway, he goes off on his own, and he ended up hanging himself because Nobuaki let him out of his sight for 2 seconds.
And remember,
Yeah, he found a noose somewhere in his house. Where?
Well, not just that, but remember, one of the girls calls Nobu.
Yeah, it's Chimi.
It's like, yeah, and Nobu's like, oh, it's fine. It's like, it's not 12 o'clock. Yeah, then it's like, you opened up your phone. I thought all phones had a clock on them that you could just. But whatever.
Well, now they all obviously believe the game is real at this point. They'd be stupid not to, and there's about to be a lot of stupid. As the next order is a popularity poll between 2 students. Kana, voiced by Megan Miller, under the alias Emmerich. She's one of the only people to go under an alias for this show. Who's Chika from Bigata HK Yamada's first time. And Naoya.
I remember that.
They agree no matter who wins the popularity poll, no hard feelings, because that always goes well in situations like this. Naoya doesn't want to win if it could kill anyone, but Nobu's like, no man, you're my best friend. I love you. I mean in, a straight way. Yeah.
No homo.
What's that?
No homo.
No homo.
Remember, all you have to do is say that, and everything's good. Those are the rules.
Well, Kana's plan, meanwhile, to get votes is to start sleeping with all the dudes in class. Including Akira, voiced by Brad Smeaton. He's from the bottom shelf. Who's Neko Senpai from Anime Guitaris.
I like that show.
I did too. Well, Shota apologizes for what happened with Daisuke to Nobu, and says he doesn't want to kill anyone else. So I'll help you get the votes for for now, you man. You've got my vote. Also, she's whoring herself out, so you might want to, get on that. Also, Shota's doubting himself here, being like, but if I vote, it might kill someone. Nobody's like, yeah, but your vote will save someone! I gotta get what little characterization I can out of this man, because these characters don't get much outside of this. Next, we cut to Kana sleeping with Shingo, voiced by Dalton Tendo. I wonder if he's related to Austin. Probably not. Who's Tyrone from Back Arrow. That is the blackest name we've seen here yet. As nobody's like, hey, you're gonna still vote for my friend, right? And he's like, yeah, of course, man. He's got my vote. Yep.
You totally couldn't see him sweating during this conversation.
I'm totally not voting for pussy.
I mean, what?
Well, the votes are in as Naoya ends up winning. Kana's afraid of what the punishment will be, so she jumps out a fucking window like she's that chick from Persona 5. Well, she jumped off the top of the building, but close enough. Also, her punishment turned out to be confess to your crush. Yeah, the king's kind of a real asshole. Or you should just say she's too impatient.
Yeah.
So how come some of the punishments are death-related and others are just something simple?
When the key... I mean...
Yeah, the king's a dick. Let's just leave it at that. Trust me, the most retarded one is coming up. Well, Nobu admits to his friend Naoya that he actually ended up rigging the votes by texting people he had a way to escape the King's game, but if they wanted to know, they had to vote for Naoya, and he would only tell them in private, so that way no one could reveal
Also, he made sure that no one knew it was him.
Yeah.
It was...
And to be honest, I wish we got more of that from him, because it shows the moral ambiguity of a situation like this, and it's the one scene where you actually get, oh, maybe he's not generic protagonist over there, if he's willing to do fucked up shit like this to save his friend.
Yeah. Speaking of saving your friend...
Yeah. 10 minutes before midnight, Naoya gets one more order. He must sleep with Chimi, or he'll burn to death. So Nobu literally has to get cucked by his best friend. Naoya won't do it, saying, I love you too much. I don't want to cuck you. So they end up knocking him out, and Nobu's like, please do this for me, Chimi. I don't want to lose my best friend. Couldn't you guys have just had a threesome? What? Just saying.
That's the case with a lot of these ones.
Well, point is, Howard did a really good job here, screaming, "I don't want to hurt my best friend by doing this, etc." So there's that.
Yeah, no, it was a decent delivery.
As Chimi says, "I'm sorry. I love you, Nobu. I didn't want to hurt you like this." And yeah, Alexis is obviously trying her hardest here too. Honestly, the dub is pretty solid. But now it's time for this episode, which I saw made a couple of people I know rage quit the show. I don't blame them, but I thought this was hilariously stupid. Because next we meet Nami, voiced by Jill Harris, who's Noelle from Black Clover. As she is king for a day, or queen, whatever the fuck. As she orders herself to touch the king, because of Nobu's theory that the king must be in their class. Bitch, you are retarded and you deserve what's about to happen to you.
Listen, to be fair, it's not the worst idea, but yeah, it's like...
What if we... The thing is, though, is that they're an entire school. What if the king was like the principal, or what if he's not in their class, which... Because the anime's shitty pacing, we already know there's another King's game, so...
Exactly. I'm not saying it wasn't stupid, but it was at least, like, trying to think of ideas. It's like, cool. But don't put your life on the line like this. Maybe. Yeah.
Also, her punishment will be Eternal Darkness. Hey, that game's really good, actually. Maybe the king isn't so bad.
No, it's a good one.
Well, she touches all of her classmates, and this is when we meet Rhea, who's basically being like, I'm just having fun in this game. How do you know I'm not the king? Maybe I am the king, being the one to give out the orders.
Yeah, to the point where she grabs
Nami's hand.
where she's like, go on, get. She literally grabs the hand, like puts it to her chest, like she's just having fun.
Yeah. Rhea is also saying like, so what are you guys going to do when you track him down? Nobody's like, well, we're not going to kill anyone. Rhea says, really? So you didn't even think this through? You people really are stupid. Someone has to be the voice of reason in this show.
Yeah. And that's totally the only reason you joke about me waifuing her.
I mean, hey, if I had to pick someone, maybe I'd waifu that too at this point.
I mean,
well, Nami touched everyone in class, but no one is the king. As she starts panicking and running out of here. And you can really hear the fear in Jill's voice with her portrayal here. As Nobu agrees to stay till midnight with her. Because, you know, she likes Nobu. But she doesn't want to admit it. As her punishment is revealed, she doesn't die. She's gone blind! She can't see anything.
Eternal darkness indeed.
As Nobu's punishment, or not punishment, his next order is to lose something important. Keep that in mind. It says something important, not someone. The king's kind of an asshole. And it makes no sense. As Nami heard the phone go off and somehow calls one of her friends on a touchscreen phone while blind without accessibility features. I can tell you that is complete bullshit and it does not work. You probably end up calling a pizza place or something.
No, these are fucking high school teenagers. They use their phone all the time.
You're giving the show too much credit because she ends up calling the one person she needed to. Also, her friend's name is Akane, but I could not find them credited at all, so I can't tell you who they were. I failed you guys.
Wow. Seriously?
Also,
try harder.
Yeah, so she finds out what Nobu's order is, and she comes up with an idea. Nobu calls her up, and she ends up answering the phone. It goes on about how being blind is so hard that she doesn't know if she could go on this. So shut the fuck up, bitch. I mean, sorry. Yeah. Anyway. And she's like, am I important to you, Nobu? And he's like, of course you're, but I'm just gonna break something at my house. That should be enough. And then she hangs up the phone on him, because she's thinking of seppuku. Nobu breaks everything, including the bracelet Daisuke left him when he died, and you figured that would be important to him, since that was a memento, but no, the king just doesn't care. Now, Nami calls him again to say goodbye. Got any reason for this one, Nomi? How she was able to find his number directly?
I mean, didn't you just say he called her?
The first time, yes, but she calls him again after he breaks everything and is figuring out what to do.
I mean, like now.
So you're saying maybe she tried calling the most recent person? Again,
Yeah, that at least makes more sense than her calling...
On a touchscreen phone, I still think that's bullshit, but whatever. Also, he asks her where she is right now. And I'm also, wondering how she managed to find her way to the ocean all on her own. That's kind of impressive. Especially for someone who literally just went blind a few hours ago. Anyway. Yeah. He calls up Chimi, trying to break up with her. Again, something important. Be like, I to lose my number. I'm bored of you! That still doesn't work. As the order is finally confirmed when Nami drowns herself in the ocean, confessing her love in the sand while blind. I don't mean to keep harping on that, but I could tell you as someone who is, this is bullshit. Whatever.
Also, considering you just went blind, you're probably not gonna know how to do things while blind. I would assume. Anyway, now Nobu's crying here over this is sort of hilarious and is a mere preview of things to come. Trust me, we'll get to it. The main event is later. Appetizer, as you might say.
As Rhea approaches, saying, "What are you, stupid?" And that's how the episode ends. What a perfect...
Again, Why wouldn't you waifu Rhea?
Who died?
What?
What? Oh. Well, anyway. Sorry, guys. I was saying something, so... But back to this. Anyway, so she says that she's going to give her life to winning this King's game. As she says, then again, if I were the king, could you stop me, Nobu? Nobu goes to lunge at her, and she uses a stun gun on him, Goldberg Scott Hall style, saying that you're an idiot, Nobu. Don't ever let your guard down. So all she wants to do is have fun.
So spoiler alert, he doesn't take that advice.
He really doesn't. Anyway, cut to Yosuke, voiced by Alejandro Saab, Flaccid Pancake, Mirai from Platinum End. We covered that show too. As he's researching the King's game with his girlfriend Kaori, voiced by Jenna Ford, who's you met her in one episode of Star Blazers 2099, and that is the only named role I could find for this chick, and she is the closest thing we probably have to an Andrew Ruth Van. Her line read is all over the place. Again, her only other credits are ad voices, so... No, are you still here? Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Also, the Pancake's name is Yosuke. You know this guy's fucked. Anyway, he swears that they'll live. He knows they will, as we get exposition from Nalia about a bunch of people who died off screen. Shingo, who I mentioned earlier, fell down some stairs, and some chick named Maki, voiced by Amanda Jish, who's mysterious witch wizard from Goblin Slayer, and Motsuki both had seizures. As Akemi, voiced by Jennifer Alex, who's Long Island from Azure Lane, got the order to send 2 names, and those are the 2 she sent. They only had seizures? Whatever.
I mean, well, it's not right. You can bite your tongue when you're having seizures. So, painful. Also,
I should mention the dude, Motoki, was voiced by Ethan Galindo, who's Kosuke from All Out. And so we had a lot of people here, a lot of us I've never heard of before in my life. But this is all exposited to us, man. That's sad. Anyway, Yosuke calls Nobu, telling him everyone who died got the single letter texted to them. A clue, if you will. Or it could be even a syllable. Nami got the letters R-E. She really got texted Re.
Yeah, it's always syllables. It's like a symbol in the language. But yeah, the symbol is like probably like 2 or 3 letters for us in America land.
Yeah. Well, anyway, before this call can continue, though, he asks Yosuke about Rhea. As Yosuke's way, like, well, she used to be happy and smiley, but then her father raped her, so that was all. It's like, wait, what? That escalated fast. The fuck? Anyway, Yosuke says, though, if he dies, he wants Nobu to watch Kaori for him. As a bunch more people die, doing stuff unnecessary. This is when the order came in, to not do anything unnecessary. We'll explain what it is in a minute. Shota calls up, saying, it's suffocating to death, saying, don't block the king! I did it in... Ugh. Oh, Nintendo, no!
Why do you have to do this?
Anyway, Nobu says... Nobu says, how can he be alive one moment and then dead the next? That's how death works, dumbass.
Yeah, like 30 people die every second, dude.
Well, Akemi, who I mentioned earlier, died because she canceled her phone plan. You dumb bitch. As Takayuki also blocked the king, and he explodes in a blood cloud. So did Yusuke, voiced by Damon Mills. Oh, don't you fucking tease me, show. Askin and Bleach. There. Also, Chirico, voiced by Kristen McGuire. Malim from That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, best girl in that series. Says she won't block the king. Don't worry. But then she ends up suffocating anyways. And she's like, I didn't do anything! Why am I dying? And we find out what the order is. As Nobu realizes, you can't cry. Fucking bitches.
Yeah.
He then calls up Hirofumi, voiced by Brandon McGinnis, Fenrir from Black Clover, who's like, I've always been a crybaby. I'm a bitch. Oh, I'm dead now. Just another blood cloud on the pile.
Yeah.
Yosuke calls up Nobu, saying the game began in a place called Yoniki Village over 30 years ago. Also, this is the last time you're going to talk to me, because I'm being punished now. I cried. I couldn't help it, man. I was just so happy. I mean, sad. I cried.
Those onion ninjas are back. It's not my fault.
As the king decides to really have fun with him, I don't know what the pancake did to him in a past life, but holy shit, as, well, one limb explodes at a time in a blood fountain. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, no, obviously it's because, remember, he's reaching for the mouse. And
to send the information to Nobu about Yoniki Village.
He's like, no, fuck you, you're not allowed to do that, bat hand.
Yeah, and then his other hand, he's like, the phone's ringing, I want to hear my girlfriend's voice one more time. But he didn't even get to do that. Also, I'll be fair, Alejandro's scream here in Bloody Murder was pretty solid, so...
Yeah.
As Nobu calls Kaori, telling her that Yosuke's just fine! Also, don't cry. Then 2 seconds later, he gets knocked out by her from behind. Waking up tied up as she's angry he lied.
She got a knife.
Yeah, she thinks he's the king, which, honestly, would have actually been an interesting twist if you think about it. He's the one person that Nami didn't touch in class, so it would have lined up.
You gotta cover your bases, Nami.
Well, anyway, she has flashbacks about how Yosuke saved her when she was younger. Young Yosuke is voiced by Madeline Morse, by the way. Rudius from Java's Reincarnation.
Yeah, remember, Nobu says a thing, that's exactly what Yosuke said to her.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And as Kaori starts crying, and she lets Nobu go, she's like, oh, at least I'll be reunited with Yosuke again. And I still say it, her line read here is really off, but whatever. She just has a heart attack, though, because she clearly didn't piss off the king. Maybe the king wifed that.
I mean...
And... yeah, if you're wondering what it was with Nobu, he told her, it's like, Yosuke said he felt the same way about you. He loved you! And that's what made her start crying, so...
yeah...
That's
okay,
when...
because
what's
he's
it?
free.
Yep. That's when Nobu runs into Ria, who wants the research from Yosuke. Okay, we're nearing the end of the first game. Thankfully. As now we're at Nomi's favorite part, and I don't blame him, this is probably one of mine also, the dice rolling game. So, basically, the roller of the die will be punished even if they roll the die, which... yeah, that's a dick move. But let's say they roll a 6, you then have to name off 6 people that have to get punished. Oh, yeah. As Toshiyuki, voiced by Brian Overa, who's Nagisa from Alashi, says, they need a plan, man! There's only 10 people left now! What are we supposed to do? And he's thinking to himself, man, who am I going to have roll the die? I can't let Chia roll the die. She's a total bitch. I'm literally quoting him word for word. That is his exact sentence. Chia being voiced by Natalie Hoover. Sonya Nevermind from Danganronpa. Again, one of the only other playovers from Doggy. Also, we find out to some chick named Masami, voiced by Sarah Ragsdale, Saya from Daigashi Kashi, ended up trying to cut herself and ended up in the hospital because of it. I don't even know who you people are. Why are you acting like we should care?
Because you should.
As they're all at the park together, the remaining students. As Keita, Nomi's hero in this show, voiced by John Wesley Go, Izuma from Salaryman's Club, says they should all work together. As Toshiyuki says, they better roll at some point now, and they better not call his name or else. If you call me, I'm gonna fuck you up. You're doing a really good job pleading your case, buddy.
Yeah.
Chia even brings up the point saying, you know everyone hates you, right? If anyone rolls, then they're calling your name first and foremost.
It's why he does what he's about to do.
I mean, Toshiyuki says that again, you ugly whore. I'm just laughing at his outbursts because they're so over-the-top cartoonish.
Yeah.
Like, he's going all in for this. As Ria and Nobu arrive, as Toshi says out loud, good, more people are here. That means less of a chance for me to be called, and more people have a chance to roll the die besides me. You're letting your inner thoughts out loud, man. Well, he takes Chimi hostage, saying that Nobu or Naoya better roll the die or he'll kill her.
Now he's got a knife.
The life of the wife was ended by the knife. So Naoya rolls the die and he ends up rolling a 6. Hey, that's lucky. Good for you, man. And
max damage.
Yeah, Keita says, hey, name that girl who tried to offing herself, man. She's in the hospital across town. That's going to be very important in a few minutes. Trust me. As Naoya's like, hey, it's not that easy, Keita, all right? Oh, I said your name, didn't I? Oh, shit, no, man, I didn't mean it. And Keita's neck starts snapping all over the place. As
It twists to the back, and then it twists back around.
And then Keita looks at them and goes, hey, it's fixed, right? Then it twists all over again as he fucking blood fountain. I can't, dude. Like, what the fuck? Anyway.
See, guys, that's called comedic timing.
Yeah, like, he then ends up giving in and calling out the chick in the hospital's name. He calls out Chia's name and Minako's name. And they just more blood clouds. As Toshiyuki's best friend, also a Toshiyuki, voiced by Jean-Luc Hester, who's Masayoshi from Assassination Classroom. Yeah, they really have two characters with the same first name, don't ask. He's like, I can't take it anymore! You've turned into a dick! He frees Chimi, asking Naoya to call both out their names. And he does. 2 more blood clouds.
You're forgetting the most important part, where to prove that he was serious, he actually stabbed Chimi's leg.
Yeah.
It's very important.
There's more Alexis screaming.
Yeah.
But now, Naoya says goodbye, because the game is complete, as his arm explodes. Because of course it does. As we cut to the reveal of what the king actually is, and boy is it something stupid. Ria starts hacking wildly into a computer, saying that, see, the king is a computer virus. It used to be a virus that swapped via letters back in the day in Yoniki Village through paper. How the fuck does that even work?
Anthrax?
Well, is anthrax bad? It's explained that it's all done through hypnotic suggestion, basically, as the computer evolved into the internet. So, to sum up, it's a placebo on steroids. If you read a text believing that you'll burn to death from the king, if you get punished, then your body will simulate that by basically making you burst into flames, as an example.
Okay, first of all, Dolphin, I keep telling you this. That there's a term for that. It's literally just called the nocebo.
It's called silliness.
Yes, I know.
Well, Ria tries using an antivirus, as she's like, my father was a brilliant man. He was a good computer hacker. Until he raped me. She literally says it like that. It's like, what? Well, they keep casually saying... But then it doesn't work. It was a trap set by the king somehow as she catches fire. But, of course, primarily her clothes catch fire. She's...
Well, no, she catches fire, but
her flesh isn't burning, though.
She is the calm character.
Yeah, she sounds so happy here. Or calm, basically being like, GG, King. GG. Well, that's how she's acting.
Yeah, basically. So she takes off her clothes, she gets on the guardrail, and then she falls into the fucking sea.
Yeah, but first she says Nobu was her insurance policy. Sounds like a Nagito line to me. Saying that after her father did what he did, he then killed himself, so she didn't know how to go on living until the King's game. Also, I'm falling into the sea now or whatever. As we get the final order, kill the person you love most. As Chimi gives him the knife and well, she's going to stab herself and he goes to stop her. So he puts his hands on the knife and then she stabs herself. Technically completing the order.
Good enough for the king.
Yeah, see, sometimes he's a pedantic asshole, other times he's not. He's not very clear on that.
Well, no, see, this one is important because there needs to be a winner. And we know why.
Yeah.
Explain later. As
she's dying in his arms, we get the most hilarious scene in the show. Nobuaki's crying is literally the tightest laugh from Final Fantasy X. No, we are not making it up. It literally is. Play the clips back to back.
He did. This man, the dolphin, he did that in one of the group chats. It is very accurate.
As her final words to him are, to survive. And his last order is to continue surviving or accept the punishment. He continues surviving. As Game 1 comes to an end.
Spoilers.
And the arrow shit has finally ended. See? That was all spread out across flashbacks for the first 6 episodes, and then the Chimi scene in Ep 11. Aren't you happy we did it this way? Now, What are our thoughts on Game 1? It was hilarious, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
The sad part is, there is potential here for something solid if in the hands of someone better equipped for it. But, as far as, the whole major plot hole that you'll catch if you pay close attention. So the King's virus is a nocebo, as Nomi calls it, where you have to know you're going to get punished for your body to react in a way. How did the chick who was passed out in the hospital get punished? What?
She got text on her phone, obviously. That was off camera. Don't question the king.
But we panned over to her. She was still knocked the fuck out.
Don't question the king.
Well, whatever. We're at Game 2 now, so let's come straight into it. Because we've got more silliness ahead. As we begin with our new main character, I should probably go over, Natsuko. Voiced by Bryn April, who's Cyan from Show by Rock, best girl in that series, and Hiyori in the anime Bones Forgot, Noragami.
Yeah.
Also, I'm saying it right now. What's up?
Oh no, I was just gonna. She goes, so another name, but we'll bring that up later.
Yeah. Bryn April is easily MVP of the dub by far. You could tell she loved this role so much. She had so much fun, and I do not blame her.
That kind of character is one of the best to play.
It really is. But yeah, Nobu transferred to a new school as we see them, running on track together as he's getting along with Natsuko. Also, Natsuko's last name is Honda. That's weird. That was Chimi's last name. Huh. Oh, Natsuko is the ace of the track team. I bring it up now because it will be kind of important later.
Somewhat. It's one of the only times they'll use something.
But yeah, so they're running on the track as they're being cheered on by Yuna, voiced by Megan Shipman, Shiori from My Tiny Senpai, speaking of waifus, and Riona, voiced by Tabitha Ray, Hotaru from Daigashi Kashi. So we got both maids from that series.
Yay!
Nobu and Natsuko win! Yay! Everyone's having fun. As we see what happened when Nobu first transferred there, as people are trying to get to know him. They want to be familiar with him, including Masatoshi, voiced by Kyle Phillips, who's Denki, the electric dude from My Hero Academia, and Sato, voiced by Jared Green, Cobra from Fairy Tail. He's like, hey, do you like soccer? Which I think is his one defining character trait, other than being a prick. Yeah. What? Also, Nobu's
blanket.
Yeah, Nobu's being an emo here, being like, don't come near me. I don't want to be your friends. I just want to be left alone. As Takia, voiced by Clifford Chafin, Bakugo, says, hey man, I just want to be your friend. And Riona's the only one saying, hey, lay off. He doesn't want to be bothered by you people. Just leave him alone, you know? Now, these characters actually do get a little more, honestly, because this is clearly what the anime mainly wanted to focus on. You could tell it was struggling to catch people up with Game 1.
Yeah. At least Game 1 had some fun punishment.
Yeah. Well, Natsuko approaches the lonely Nobu, asking if something bad happened at his old school, that you can tell me anything. And he's like, I don't know if I want to. Then we cut to the relay race, because he ended up breaking down and actually competing in it, and past that, where they're all celebrating. As Teraraki, voiced by Matt Shipman, Cutthroat from Akudama Drive, offers to cut his hair. That's his one trait. He wants to be a hairstylist. He's also with his best friend Rio, voiced by Justin Briner. Deku from My Hero.
Weird.
Yeah. As we hear two girls exposit in the background about how Natsuko's parents were killed in an accident, though some people believe it might have been murder. With which we find out later, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Well, Nobu starts having fun, though, and that's his first problem. He has hope again! Before an order from the king comes through to everyone in class. But hey, his first order is just to kiss Natsuko. That's not too bad. Nomi, would you do it?
No.
Well, the class doesn't believe him when he says that it's real. The punishment is real, you guys! You don't understand! And after they laugh for... What's it?
No, I was just like, because one of them is literally like, if you have a crush on her, just say so.
Yeah, he's like, I don't! This is wrong! And after a couple of minutes of this, they immediately turn malicious towards him with Sato, the wet blanket, over there, being like, you hear that? We're not laughing now. You better stop or I'm gonna beat you up. What happens to this dude is actually satisfying. Anyway, Nobu is hopeless on the roof of the school, because that's where you go to if you're having an existential crisis in an anime.
No, not...
Well, that was on the roof. It's not?
No, it's like in a park.
Okay, the second place you go if you're having an existential crisis. See, that's why you're here, Nomi. You help me with these things. But yeah, he believes if he dies first, then maybe people will finally believe him. And he's like, well, sorry, Natsuko, you'd have to go down with me, he thinks to himself. Now, him being hopeless here actually does make sense with what he just survived, I guess, to be fair. As Natsuko's best friend, Ayumi, who I think is the most retarded character in this entire show, we will get to her why later, voiced by Lindsay Seidel, heiress from Jobless Reincarnation, says, hey, if you like Natsuko, I'll put in a good word for you. As he shouts, leave me alone! It's like, that's not how you think someone's being nice to you. And, yeah, she then leaves him alone.
Oh wait, I was wrong. This was on the roof. I forgot about this part. The next part is in a full...
Yeah, see, I was telling you, I remember it being on the roof. Okay, I'm not fully retarded. Just partially.
I apologize.
Anyway, Natsuko shows up and is like, is the reason you won't kiss me because of your ex? Well, we only have 1 minute left, so I'll play along with your silly Kings game. And then she kisses him, saying, I'll help you get over your ex. She seems so sweet and nice. Right, Nomi? Who wouldn't want to waifu this?
Yeah, totally. Also, don't be in the park at night. I've seen things happen. Like, people dying.
Oh. Well, the King's rules are now sent out on day 2, including one of them, don't be in a deep sleep or you'll die. The fuck? This rule wasn't part of the first game, I don't think. As a bunch of people who were already asleep because of this get punished retroactively and die. Yeah, that's just like, cheating. That's not.
It's like 12:30. That's you're just because it's like almost right after the kiss, and it's like not cool, dude. But I guess he decided like we have too many cast members.
Well, then don't have 32 fucking people. Anyway, yeah. So Nobu's like, I gotta run to everyone's houses and wake them up. First one being Tsubasa, voiced by Steven Sanders, who's Nezuna from Ensemble Stars. And Tsubasa's already dead. He had one sentence earlier in this episode, but fuck it, I've been crediting everyone named so far, so might as well keep it up.
Plus, this is the 2 other adults other than the teacher.
Yeah, his parents. His mother didn't talk, so she's not credited, but his daddy's Mike McFarlane, who's Baby and Master Roshi from the Dragon Ball franchise.
Baby.
And yeah, Tsubasa was hung. Because he... where do you people keep getting the shit to hang with?
Again, free nooses for everyone.
Hanging out with family. Well, the group all meet up as they discuss that other people died, including Nanami, voiced by Skylar McIntosh. Hatana from Hatana Illusion also hung herself. Who was she? I don't know, I think she said one line earlier. She was credited, so fuck it.
Yeah.
As Sato believes this is somehow Nobuaki's fault. How?
Also, bring this up, but Natsuko would be his alibi here. Actually.
Yeah. Well, Tatsuya, voiced by Anthony Bowen, or Seiya from Kasha's Hero, and Toshifumi, voiced by Orion Pitts, Ranta from Grimgar, of Fantasy Nash, also basically like, yeah, you know, it's your fault. As Aimi continues to prove why she's retarded here, saying that if he knew the punishment was real, that means he was about to kill Natsuko by rejecting her kiss. So he tried killing her. So then they beat him up.
Yeah. Because in the park, because that's everyone's favorite location. The dice game was in the park too, technically.
Well, yeah. Also, is it a good idea to beat up the one person who has information on this whole situation you guys are in?
Yes.
These people are retarded. Well, Sato gets the punishment for breaking some rule. I don't even remember what the rule was, honestly. I don't even think they made it clear. Did you just not follow an order?
I believe it was an order, yeah, but yeah, I don't remember of this.
Well,
what he did to deserve this.
Well, he's like, what did you do to me? Asking Nobu this as he explodes into a blood cloud.
So, specifically, and I'm going to mention this one, because specifically what it is he basically starts developing sores, and those explode into blood.
Blood blisters! Sounds like the name of a metal band. The Blood Blister.
Oh, that's a fun one.
As Nobu says, do you believe me now? As Natsuko's order is to fuck Teruaki, the Matt dude. And this is when Nobu tells them about his past. But we already did that, so yeah, skipping over that. And this is... What's it?
Where Natsuko's like, well, why don't we?
Yeah, she's like, I want my first time to be with someone special, Nobu. I like you. Do it with me first. It's like, I don't think that's going to help. Hey, man, you know, again, threesome. It's always an option on the table. And this is when Natsuko reveals her true colors, saying she pretended to be nice to see if Nobu had a way to escape the King's game. But he doesn't, so she then tells Teruaki to strip. And
No,
yeah.
but no. Remember, but for
Doesn't Terowaki try forcing himself on her before she reveals her true colors too? Actually,
yeah, for
because he's
for
scared
like a
shitless.
brief,
Yeah.
for like a brief second, and then she should dominate them one, but something else happens before they can do the deed.
Well, yeah. This is when she's like, you know what? Before I do the order, come here, Nobu. I want to talk to you in private. And she's like, oh, so what are you expecting us to do? And he's like, I just want us to work together with everyone. And she says, really? You know they beat you up, right? Why don't you grow up here and actually be a real man? I think that's impossible for him.
Yeah, but don't forget the part where she decides to choke a bitch.
Well, hold on. Sum it up. She then yells at him to get out of her sight. Bitch, you're the one who pulled him aside. I just... Alright.
Don't argue with crazy.
Well, the crazy one then strips herself down and throws herself on him, throwing out false rape allegations. Saying that she's going to prove the monsters these people really are. As the class shows up and instantly believe her without getting any information first. And they beat him up again. Yeah.
He kind of deserves it.
As we find out, Mizuki, voiced by Brittany Latta, Rico from Made in Abyss, yeah, that's how you do it in Gungrave Gore, has to tell two people to die. As Natsuko says, well, why don't you make Nobuaki one of them? And this is when Kenta Akamatsu, no, he's not Ken Akamatsu, but he's an Akamatsu, voiced by Garrett Storms, Boxo from that time reincarnated as Vending Machine, shows up, and he's the one dude defending Nobuaki and her. As Rio then asks if Natsuko's acting weird, or is it just him? Okay, I take it back. I think all of you are retarded. At first I thought it was just a couple of you, but no, fuck it. Like, got anything to add to that, Nomi?
No.
You want to be in this class, Nomi?
No.
Well,
no.
Anyway, Kenta says, no lynch mob! As Natsuko's like, you know what? Fuck it. Kill Kenta and Nobuaki. They're both being annoying, Mizuki. As Mizuki shouts, I can't take this, and throws her phone, breaking it in protest. As Natsuko says, well, you're fucked. As she drags Terowaki away. Probably to make him have an experience he'll never forget, I'd imagine. Oh, also Kenta slapped Natsuko. He is definitely best boy in this series. I love him.
Yeah. He is. He's a good boy.
Also, Kenta's order was to be king for a day. So he orders himself to protect Mizuki to raise her morale and give her confidence, saying, don't worry, that way if you are punished, I'll be punished too. See, these people literally walk into death.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Anyway, the two of them help Nobuaki up as the class disperse. As Kenta says in the last King game, Nobu isn't a monster, even if he had to do things a little unforgivable. The king is a monster.
Actually, that reminds me, when they're king for the day,
Yeah.
Did no one try being like, what if my order is to be king forever? Did no one try that? Because that's not a rule that you can't do that.
You are trying to put logic into the king, and no one tried doing that.
Listen, I turned my brain off for the entirety of the anime. I had to turn it back on.
Oh yeah, we also see Natsuko. She stole Nobu's phone, so there's that. She also took Teraki's, but we'll find that out in a little bit when we get back to her. As Nobu tells Mizuki and Kenta to come to Yoniki Village with him. I mean, they volunteered, but fuck it, we gotta speed this along, because they want to look for a clue. The whole town was killed off in the first King's game over 30 years ago. Kenta asks if Nobu knows who the king is at all, and Nobu says he has no idea. I don't know why he would say this at this point, except for the audience's benefit, because we haven't gotten to the flashback yet revealing it's a virus, but Nobu, you know it's a virus, you fucking liar.
We also have a flashback in the episode, but again covered first already.
Yeah, well, Mizuki transfers her contact info and everything to a new phone, hoping that maybe this will make the king not punish her, as they arrive at Yoniki Village. As Kenta and Nobu talk about who Mizuki should text. Die. As they walk through the Spirited Away tunnel, as Nomi called it.
It 100% is.
Well, they think that she should text Haruka, who was ordered to let Tsubasa grope her, but he's dead, so, that ain't happening.
She's gonna die anyway, so why not?
Haruka, by the way, was voiced by Jessica Peterson, Francesca von Karma from the Ace Attorney anime. So, yeah.
Yay.
Anyway, Nobu then enters the Honda residence. That last name again. It's a connection. As he finds a family photo of Chimi, and there's someone there in the family registry named Natsuko. Oh my god. Now this is supposed to be a reference setting up King's Game Origins novel from what I looked up, but this really doesn't lead anywhere in the anime land, so I still want to see King's Game Origin.
There's like one thing.
Yeah, he finds a corpse of Chimi's dad with the message, "I'm sorry." But as stated, this really doesn't go anywhere. Anyway, the three of them get split up, because horror cliche, as the king killed 7 people off screen. You son of a bitch, I wanted to see that! If I'm watching something that's meant to be taken like a slasher flick, I want to see the death scenes, damn it.
I mean, you can just do like a quick little montage of cutting or whatever. It's not that hard.
Mizuki and Kenta find each other as she confesses her love, saying that she wants to text Kenta and her own name to herself. That way they could have a Romeo and Juliet situation.
Definitely not a yandere.
I mean, yandere are kind of hot, right? Anyway. He ends up knocking her out to take her phone and text Natsuko's name and his own. As they receive the text message, "Obedience confirmed." Cut to Aya, or Ayaka, TTS wasn't very clear on that one, voiced by Amberly Connors, who's Android 18 from DBZ Abridged. Remember when they used to be funny? As she's asked to lose something important also, and the one thing that she thinks of is strangling her dog.
No, dude. She broke a bunch of shit and nothing worked.
Yeah.
And then the dog waddled up.
To be fair, she doesn't do it, so she gets punished. I was gonna say, get your elfin lead out of here. I already covered that show. As Haruka also tries having Tsubasa's hand from his corpse, again, wouldn't the parents have cremated that or something, or had some sort of...
Parents don't exist in the show, remember?
But it doesn't work because he is dead. So...
He can't drop her.
Yeah, because that was the order.
As Rhea mentioned this too in the first one, when she's like taunting them, like, I could be the king. She didn't touch me. I grabbed her handmate.
I initiated the contact, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, there's that, plus, again, he's dead. So.
Well, he's already dead. Well, the text for the two people from Mizuki didn't work, because it was a different phone. As Kenta also failed his order to protect her, so he dies too. Okay, the king has all of her contact information. How did this not work? Is it because her phone wasn't infected with the STD?
Because yeah, he's a dick.
I'm just going to say he was a pedantic dick, because her phone was still near Kenta's, so it still should have counted.
Yeah, also, as I pointed out, my favorite thing, as they're dying, they try to grab their hands, they don't make it.
Yeah, Nobu says farewell as they try uniting in death, but they can't. As they have heart attacks. No blood fountains today. Natsuko calls Kenta's phone from Nobu's. As Nobu answers, and apparently the order confirmed text is because she screwed Teruaki after getting the die text to fool them. Because she thought it'd be funny. I mean, it is kind of funny.
Yeah.
As Natsuko threatens to break Nobu's phone if he doesn't listen to anything she says. As Teruaki thinks to himself, I have to find a way to stop Natsuko. She's fucking insane! As she says, if you betray me, Teruaki, I'll kill you myself. And Bryn goes all in on this line. You can tell she's really having fun at this point.
Great. He goes into the bathroom. And she's just like, you're not planning something in there, are you? And then somehow gets in anyway.
I was hoping that she would like break the door in with an axe, Shining style.
Yeah, but that would be great, but no.
Well, instead, Riona then calls Kenta's phone to talk to Nobu, telling him to meet up with her, and she mentions that her parents can't see him meet with her, and him or whatever, so they need to do it at a different place. Which I still need to bring up the point, where the fuck are all the adults in this situation? I'm sorry, but if over half a single class dies...
Now who's the one using their brain?
You're right. Well, she found out the numbers from other schools, including Natsuko being in a previous King's game as well. Which makes me wonder, why didn't the King's Game virus spread before Nobuaki arrived? Natsuko was already there, and she survived, so why didn't wait for him?
Because the king thought it would be funny.
I mean, it is kind of funny. Well, they also discussed the whole syllable thing, as Nobuaki has hope in solving it and defeating this bastard. Their deaths weren't in vain. That's literally how he says it. As Natsuko arrives, as Nobu wants to talk to her alone, he asks her about her sister, Chimi, and she confirms that it's 100% true. And she's like, what, you thought just because I was related to your dead girlfriend that I'd work with you? You're an idiot. And this is when she starts nicknaming him Nobu Babe, and I'm pretty sure that's dub only as well. But it's great, it works, so. Also, group meetup time! As we have the finger-breaking game.
This one was fun, too.
It was. You can either cut off your finger or break it. And if any finger on your right hand is a positive point, on your left hand, it's negative. Whoever ends the game with a negative score dies. Also, only 12 people left. So, yeah. Teruaki says, let's all pass, and then we'll be fine. As Natsuko says, no, why are we all going to pass? This is bullshit. I'm letting you all know these people still have not tied her up at this point yet, and it's about to get really stupid.
Yeah.
Well, people all pass their turns until Teruaki, who cuts Nobu's hair, saying about his dream to be a hairstylist one more time. Also, one of the other students is here too. Rina, voiced by Heather Walker, who's Mordred from Divine Gate. I remember that series.
Barely.
And another Aya, voiced by Jeannie Torado, Android 21 from the Dragon Ball franchise. But yeah. Anyway, Teruaki uses a rock to break all the fingers on his left hand. That'd be pencil. That'd be painful as hell, man. And Matt's screaming here kills it.
Yeah, he committed.
He did. As he threatens Natsuko, give us back our phones, or all these are for you. Natsuko gives up the phones, and he says, okay, now, oh yeah, he broke one finger on his right hand too, and he says, 1 positive point for Nobu, 4 negative ones for Natsuko, and 1 for Aimi, her friend. I was like, what the hell? You said you wouldn't do it, and he says, no, I said I wouldn't give you every negative point, I just gave you 4.
It's crazy because in the second King's game we've had 2 characters that are cool.
Yeah, I did like that. That was funny.
Yeah, that's 100% a move you would do.
It is. It totally is. Just to be a dick. Well, Natsuko ends up passing. She won't hurt herself. As Ayami's like, wait, but you're not even going to break one finger to save me? I would have broken all of them for you. As Natsuko then walks up to Ayami, when it's her turn, because everyone else passed and Ayami's last, and breaks 4 of her fingers with a rock while everyone just sits there and doesn't interfere. Oh, you people are so fucking dumb. It's like a Friday the 13th cast.
Well, no, remember she had to remind Ayami like how good friends they are and basically mind break her.
Yeah.
Convince her like, no.
Well, does she break all of her fingers, and as everyone's watching, again, people are dumb, as Lindsay's scream here does kill it or whatever, and I'm not gonna lie, one thing that does, I guess you could say, make me cringe in the way is bone snapping sounds, and I think they did get that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, those traps are the ones in Saw that actually did bother me a bit. I can handle all the skewering and all that other shit.
No, I feel you. There's a certain visceral feeling to just hearing that.
Well, Ayami's like, Natsuko, friendship to me is what we were in the past. So even after all the crazy shit you've done, you played the friend card, so I trust you. You can have my 4 my positive points. As then Natsuko's like, thank you. Also, I feel like I owe you one now, and I might need you later. So, here, breaking the thumb too. Now give yourself the point.
No, but she specifically says the thumb, basically talking about how, like...
It's the hardest finger to break on your own.
So she's like, I did that because I don't think you would have managed it, so there we go, we're even.
Keep in mind, they still do not tie Natsuko up after this. As Natsuko says, even after all this, she still won't change, even though her best friend and Teruaki broke their fingers to prove a point. And she then calls for a group meetup, saying that it's time to break your hopes once and for all for despair. As Teruaki shows up, saying that he'll never be able to use his left hand again, but it's okay, it was worth it. Also, the hospital, he says, didn't keep him in overnight. Dude, your hand was fully fucking broken. This be one shit hospital. Don't you think they would have kept him up on...
We gotta see what happens to him now, considering.
Well, anyway, at the meetup, Natsuko and Nobu debate whether to work together or not still. As she talks about her game, that she survived. That would have been fun to see, actually. Sure. But it's past midnight as Teruaki gets punished because Natsuko used his phone to block the king, saying you should have really put a lock on your phone. Why didn't you block Nobu's number from the king or whatever?
You also can check.
Yeah, like
numbers.
Yeah, why did Teruaki's? This is the one dumbass moment from his part. Like, you wouldn't make sure that she didn't fuck with your phone while it was in her possession.
I would have 100%.
Also, she keeps saying she wants to kill Nobuaki or wants him to die. She had his phone. She was able to call on it, which means she was able to block people too. Why didn't she block the king with him?
No, it's too easy of a death for Nobu. He needs the spirit to be broken.
Anyway, after this, where they all call her a monster and a murderer, saying she literally killed him, you all know what? I said it before. They still leave her free. As Teruaki bleeds to death.
Which, considering the next order, it would have been, if they tied her up, that many things would be different.
Well, Ryo arrives, and he got a hat for Teruaki. He tries putting it on him, saying, why won't he smile? He's not happy about the hat. Come on now. As he's clearly losing his fucking mind.
Yeah,
and you laughed your ass off at this scene.
Well, because that, but also, as I pointed out to you, Dolphin, for some reason, Headless Corpse has a black haze around the stump.
Yeah, I
Some
think, yeah, this is either they were running out of budget or they had to censor it for broadcasting things. Obviously, I can't tell if the Blu-ray fixed that or not, but yeah.
because I know they used the black haze a couple more times before the seasons, but yeah, this is the first time I noticed it.
Either that or the version that we saw, which is fully free to watch on YouTube, by the way, and I would recommend it. Go watch it there, because trust me, we're not doing it justice by breaking it down like this. We're really not.
No.
Was the funny version. I want to put it past them if funny censored it in some way. Well, anyway.
Don't watch this while eating food, because you will choke to death.
From laughing. Well, it's time for the new order. The class must run to the summit of a mountain within 24 hours. Every 8 hours, the person who's farthest away from the mountain will be punished. As Nobu encourages a crying Ryo to keep on fighting, that's what his best friend Teraraki would want, Natsuko got a head start running on ahead of everyone. And I will spoil, she does end up getting there first, but again, that makes sense. She was the ace of the track team. One of the few times that logic does actually win here.
What's logic?
I don't know. As we have Takia, the Clifford Chafin one, pushing Masatoshi down the stairs, so that way he won't be in last place. Masatoshi will. As Masatoshi is knocked the fuck out and half dead from falling down the stairs. What is with the stairs? Also, they can't use transportation either, by the way, to get to the mountain.
Yeah, no Well, there's a few more things that, yeah, just like the gist basically is, you can only use yourself. No transportation, no equipment, nothing. Just your own legs.
Yeah. As Nobu, Aimi, and Riona are in last place. Becoming friendly. And this is when Riona starts being tsundere towards him. Nomi, your top waifu, right? He's not denying it.
In the second King's game, maybe.
Well, Aimi ends up running ahead, because she wants to catch up with Natsuko and company. So, Nobu and Riona are in last place. But Masatoshi wakes up from the stairs and ends up catching up with them. And this is when Nobu starts having a demon Natsuko in his head, telling him to give up and just quit the game. Fucking crazy bastard hearing a voice in his head. Is he shouting, "I won't lose hope! I'll never give up hope!" Where's Makoto Naegi when you need him?
I don't know. Bryce was probably doing a better anime.
Well, they end up taking a break on a bridge as Masatoshi ends up falling unconscious from his injuries and into the river off the bridge.
Now, you see, this is where they're stupid, because they could have they literally climbed onto the guardrail thing and sat there.
Yeah.
If they had just sat
on the ground or something, yeah.
So,
well, Nobu tries jumping in to save him, as he has visions of all the past people who are dead, including his girlfriend Chimi, like he's James from Silent Hill 2 or some shit. But it's too late. He couldn't save him. But the visions did tell him to keep on going, so Nobu surfaces, revealing Masatoshi drowned. And he cries about it again. Titus! Where are you, Titus?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing the unnecessary thing isn't an Ironclad rule, right?
Yeah. Well, Riona tells him to cheer up, that being emo doesn't suit him. I don't know, he was being mopey and bitchy for the first couple of days before this game started. So... They run on ahead, but it's punishment time for the last place person, as Nobu tries staying slightly behind, doing the whole "my shoelaces are untied." That way he'll get punished to save her. But it's okay, because Masatoshi, who drowned to death, by the way, is the one who gets punished. The fuck? How does that work? He's already dead! He's already dead. We don't know that...
First of all, obviously, minutes would be enough. We don't know the time frame. But I'm pretty sure it was at least an hour.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
At least. But again, he's in the sea. I don't.
I guess the king is like, oh, this time I'll give him a freebie. The corpse will count.
He didn't die because of me. So now
I'm gonna kill him until he's dead.
I'm going to have his corpse be set on fire in the ocean. It'll be funny.
Is that what happens?
I don't know, but that's my canon.
Yeah, it's mine too. Alright, fuck it. Well, Riona catches on, saying that if Nobu tries to ever become a martyr again, she'll kick him in the dick. She'll kick him right in the Don Quixotes.
Remember that line, guys.
Montage of 8 hours later, as Nobu wants to be a martyr again, as she kicks him right in the Don Quixote like she said she would. As he stops her from running backwards, and they share a nice moment with her admitting that she likes him.
I thought the kick was after the punishment.
I'm reminded in this moment of the potential we could have had if, this were actually better written. As we cut to Aimee, who's been running backwards on a different road, so she's in last place to save everyone, including Nobu, because Nobu gave her strength, as she becomes a blood fountain, as her last words are, Natsuko, you'll always be my friend. Whatever you say, you stupid bitch. Dumbass blood cloud.
No, she's saying Natsuko is her friend. She's not saying she's Natsuko's friend. That's a different connotation. You can be friends with someone, but they're not your friend. So, I don't know.
What? Now you're starting to sound like what? Yeah, I was going to say we're nearing the end. We're nearing the end. As Riona and Nobu keep encouraging each other to live, and yeah, this is when Natsuko made it up to the top of the mountain first, and she starts setting up traps for everyone. Takia falls into one of them.
Yeah, it's a spike trap for him. His legs are fucked.
Yeah, she walks up to him and he's like, "Get away from me! What are you doing, you crazy bitch?" And she breaks both his legs, and Cliff's scream here is fucking brutal as hell, honestly.
She literally tells him, like...
This is the only other moment in the anime I genuinely cringed, because the bones snapping and everything.
Yeah, But yeah, she literally is like, oh, you don't want this... What about the dude you pushed down the stairs? How do you think he felt?
No, that's Rina. Mm-hmm. That's coming up. Natsuko doesn't do that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it does sound like something Natsuko would say, too.
No, because Natsuko identifies with that, because her whole thing is survival of the fittest.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, cut to Natsuko now running into Yuna, who I completely forgot existed at this point, I'm not going to lie. She's like, hey, what's up?
Kind of bitchy. She doesn't really get along with everyone.
Well, she says there's a shortcut if you go up this way. And Yuna's like, okay, sure. And she goes the opposite way, being like, who the hell would ever trust you? But this was reverse psychology. As Natsuko's like, I tried to warn you, idiot. Well, Rina now trips over Takia as he begs for her help, and she's like, well, what about Masatoshi? Do you think he wanted help too when you pushed his ass down the stairs? It's survival of the fittest out here. And she runs on. And this one, she runs into Yuna, and Yuna starts falling off a cliff. She's so clumsy. As Rina also leaves her to die running off.
To be fair, she goes to help for a second, and then she's like, oh no, it's crumbling a bit like this. I'm not risking my life. But she tried to
help. She's close to the summit as Natsuko then runs into her, saying, you know, in my last game, I end up murdering in my entire class. So, yeah, you're not getting out of this alive. And that's when Rina tries running away, and now she falls to her death, too.
Yeah.
As we're left with 5 people. And the remaining ones end up rushing towards the summit. As Natsuko tries to stop them, but Nobu ends up kicking her away. As we've hit the final episode, and things are about to get really retarded.
Well,
in the best
first
way.
You skipped why there's 5.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I was gonna reveal who
Well,
everyone who survived.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you're skipping a bit, but sure.
Yeah, so also Bryn's laugh here is her evil laugh is great here. Why was it she Junko in the Danganronpa anime, by the way? Yeah, Natsuko we nicknamed Diet Junko, if you couldn't tell.
I wonder why.
Like, would have been a hell of a lot better than who we got in the fucking anime. But yeah, so the people left are Nobu, Ryo, Ryona, Natsuko, and Aya, the Jamie Toronto thingy. Aya also passed out from exhaustion, so Nobu had to carry her.
Well, no, she's the one that fell down the cliff, I thought.
No, that was Yuna. Yuna was the Megan Shipman one
yeah.
who died.
I don't...
Trust me, so I went through it again. I had to make sure. Trust me, when it comes to King's Game, I know my King's Game lore, man.
Do you blame me for not remembering which one?
Well, the final order, make a human doll. You can use the same person or different limbs from each person. Just use Natsuko. Oh, they're not going to do that, are they? Of course not. As Ryo knocks out Nobu from behind, saying that he'll save everyone, he wants to be a real man. And Natsuko... Yeah, exactly. Natsuko gives him a chainsaw, man. Okay, where the fuck did she get a chainsaw from?
Shut up.
Well, he cuts off his own leg, saying, he'll be a real man, damn it! That's when he bleeds to death, screaming in agony. As Natsuko says, oh dear, you're already dead. Aya then wakes up, trying to strangle Natsuko, but gets chainsawed to death as well. And now there were 3.
Yeah.
As Natsuko keeps calling Ryona Rihanna here for some fucking reason, I have no idea why, but she does it for the rest of this episode. And that's when Nobu wakes up, saying, Ryo, you are more of a man than I'll ever be. That's the truth.
Accurate.
Yeah. But now the 3 remaining put the letters and syllables they got together from Natsuko's game, and the game they've been playing now, and the other game that Nobu played. And we finally get the message. TLDR, the King's Game will go on till either everyone is dead in this game or the end of humanity. Like a true virus.
They're carriers.
Yep. That actually... What's up?
That's the part that ties into the thing...
Yeah, him wanting Nobu to survive.
Well, no, I'm saying the thing with the village, because
yeah,
technically they were there as kids. That's why.
Which, by the way, doesn't make sense, because the first King game was over 30 years ago. There is no way you're going to tell me Natsuko and Chimi are over 30 years old. What?
Shut up.
Unless the one survivor was their dad, and he went on, and then he died later on. Maybe that's what it was.
I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be the dad, but again, as we know, not translated, so who the fuck knows? Well,
Nobu says, in order to save everyone, they all must die. This is a sick joke. As Natsuko's like, I'll never die. I will live on. As she starts beating up Nobu, saying she's the one who will push everyone to the extreme. Oh, that's why this volume is called King's Game Extreme. I get it. Wait a minute. But then Ryona runs her through from behind with a fucking chainsaw. Remember this, it'll be important in a second. As Nobu and Ryona think about what to do next, as Ryona thanks him for everything, saying she never would have made it this far without him. But then Natsuko somehow jumps up after getting fucking chainsawed all the way through, turns on the chainsaw, and buries it through Nobu's throat.
Specifically saying
that she loves him.
I will be the one to... I don't want anyone else to kill him.
He's mine. I love him. So we'll be united together in death.
So I don't... Yeah, definitely...
What is it?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, I mean, remember, they did hentai games that every female character ends up wanting to bone the main character in those. So, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, also, Nobu is talking normally here, even though his throat just got ran through. As he tells Riona to live. But you just said that you all had to die to save the world. Now you're telling her to live on? You're sending me mixed messages, Nobu. Whatever. He dies after again saying that sentence fully coherently and normally, somehow. As we cut to Nobu in heaven with all of his friends reunited and happy, and I'm sitting here thinking the most bullshit part about this series is how Natsuko ended up being in heaven. I call horse shit.
No, this is the Japanese like river thing. It's not heaven. It's basically limbo.
Oh, well, they seemed all happy and celebratory. So,
well, because the anime's almost over now.
Well, Riona then drags his body to the ocean, and she's like, this is kind of romantic. At least we'll be together in the end anyways. And she drags him into the ocean, drowning herself in the name of love. Honestly, Tabitha is really good in this scene, so.
And it's a happy ending, right?
Yep, the virus has been extinguished, except it hasn't. Post-credits scene, where a dude voiced by Aaron Dismuke, Alphonse from O3 FMA, or Senku from Dr. Stone, gets a text saying, the King's game has begun. To be continued text on screen. Except not really, because we were robbed of a Season 2. Why? Why did we get a Season 2 of this dumb show? The next volume, by the way, is titled Annihilation, and it involves every student in the entire country of Japan to play. That sounds amazing! But that is it. After this long marathon, we have broken down everything in King's Game. And what did we learn at the end of the day, Nomi?
Laughter is the best medicine of all?
It is. It is. Also, I don't know if this was trying to rip off Danganronpa or not. I couldn't find a conclusive date of when the first VN or novel for this came out, but I think it was the same year as Doggy 1's PSP release. So, that might be a crazy coincidence. There's no getting around it, though. It definitely did borrow from Higurashi, with its virus versus the Hinamizawa syndrome, and you have a red-haired yandere character. It's crazy as fuck. So fuck it, we'll just say it took from both.
No, but remember, it also took from Death Note.
You know, the whole rule system, and the heart attacks. Yeah, so, the king, like... I don't even know where to begin. There are so many dumb things in this series that you could easily drive a truck through the amount of holes in their logic. The biggest one for me, though, has got to be the Natsuko situation. None of you people tied her up at all. If you didn't want to kill her, fine. Being like, we're not murderers like you, blah, blah. But at least tie the bitch up.
She's probably into it, though.
But hey, at least the dub was really fucking good. And I do genuinely mean that. Outside of a couple of instances where it's like, okay, that take could have been a little better, or maybe that VA could have tried a little more. The majority of the cast all sounded like they were having fun with this role and actually tried taking it seriously as hell. Which I've said this before. Even if the product is dicks, it is your job to give your all in your performance. And the majority of the cast here actually did that, so I have to be fair there.
There's like 2 characters I can think of that... But when
yeah, and they're so minor, they don't even matter. So...
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, you said one line, and oh, you're dead. Cool.
Now, is this the worst horror anime? Hell, is this even a worst anime period? No, I don't even think it's close in that argument. It's too hilarious.
Oh, God.
Not to mention, there is some, at least, good concepts that you could probably get out of this to use in a better story. Not to mention I don't know about you, Nomi. I grew up on dumb slasher horror flicks, and this really gave me that vibe. So if you approach it with
Yeah,
that
no,
mindset,
I mean, and again, as we always say, the worst thing you can be is boring.
yeah. So if
Good
people
is
are wondering,
good.
you want to ape shit and angry towards Gilgamesh, because Gilgamesh wasn't just bad, it was boring and bad. This is fun and stupid, and I absolutely love it. I have a soft spot for this anime.
It kept your attention.
It did. You couldn't look away.
No.
And
No,
upon
absolutely
looking it
not.
up, apparently this anime does have a cult following where people genuinely do love it. And you know what? Good for you guys. I get it. I really do. I'm gonna get into Foxhole with you, people. I fucking love this dumb series. I can't help it. It's retarded, nonsensical, and really dumb, but it's also a hell of a lot of fun. What do you think, Nobi? Did you love it too?
I cannot. I can't imagine enjoying this more. I think if it was honestly, I feel like if it was generally good and like there weren't many like plot holes, I think I actually would have enjoyed it less than I did.
Maybe, yeah. I do say though the pacing's probably my number one main complaint.
Oh yeah.
This
No,
should have been
if it
24 episodes.
If it had more episodes for the pacing.
Which, speaking of which, the studio's still around, being as how they did Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time S2 about a year or so ago. Give us King's Game Season 2! Come on! I want this. I need this in my life.
Well, if I get an article about them kickstarting season.
Good. If you do know me, that'll be me and your Bleach. We will one up at a time, weekly.
Oh god.
Also, I really want to look up the novels now and read them because they sound amazing. But yeah, that's it. We've dragged this on long enough. This is probably the longest episode I think we've ever done, but it was fucking worth it. This show is great. Hope you all enjoyed it. For those that stuck around all the way to the end, you are the true legends, and I really do mean that. Thank you for that. MVP of the dub is definitely Bryn April, 100%. She fucking knocked it out with Natsuko. You could tell she had the time of her life, and it just makes me angry at the fact we didn't get her ever voicing Junko at all.
I mean,
But we got at least a small preview of what that would have been like.
and it was glorious.
And yeah, if you haven't seen the show yet, I'd highly recommend it. Just go into it with your brain turned off. If you try taking it seriously, you're probably not going to have as much fun with it. That's it. In short,
It's a bit
really fun. Best anime we've watched together so far, Nomi.
so far.
Which means we gotta bring down that shit meter. Next time I'll make sure it's something Garbo we're watching.
How dare you?
Well, till next time, guys, have a good day. Thanks again for watching. And remember, if you get a text from the king, just request or reply to him, asking him what he's wearing. Yeah, that is one horny king, man. Like, he wanted everyone to fuck. Holy shit, I did not remember that much sex going on. Well, that's it. Till next time, guys. Bye!